Welcome everyone, Simon here from the Wells of Wall Street. Verasity is on our radar this evening here in the UK. Welcome to everyone who is listening in right now, or indeed maybe even watching, who knows. Guys, before we go into the chart, just wanted to pinpoint this awesome article here from Cointelegraph literally a day ago. The reason I'm bringing this to the attention is there is a bit of a mention here from Elliot Hill, the new communications person from Veracity, which we actually mentioned a few videos back. So it's really good to see this kind of communication, or indeed little snippets, albeit particularly on this article, coming from Veracity. But this topic in particular is one that I'm very passionate about in general. What I would say is, if you aren't a gamer yourself, at least appreciate the amount of money and market value there is in gaming. We talk about this quite a lot. Done a lot of research, a lot of market data over the last year on this particular topic. But for right now, we're going to be talking about NFTs and this aspect of gaming. Now, we all know that NFTs are very much interlaced with crypto and blockchain gaming right now, especially the play-to-earn mechanism. But one thing that is not quite yet transitioned is NFTs into what I would deem the traditional gaming world. Now, there are a multitude of projects out there right now. We know some have been extremely successful over the last 3 or 4 years. I think CryptoKitties in particular, Axie Infinity, of course, we talk about quite a bit in recent times. But of course, what that is great for actual games that are traditionally built with blockchain in mind, a play-to-earn mechanism and this kind of stuff. But actually, it's a topic in my mind anyway, in general, right now, is I feel personally that you could probably say maybe 70-80% of what I would call traditional gamers are either not aware or educated to what blockchain crypto gaming is, or they don't see the reasoning behind why NFTs or blockchain should be integrated into games. Now, we talked about in the past about this Ready Player One mentality, where interoperability within games could be quite interesting. Taking your NFT collection or items, whether it be skins or armor, whatever it is, from one game to another, as long as it's within the rules and regulations of those particular games, because it's kind of like the law of physics, right? You can't, for example, maybe take an Optimus Prime with you from one game to another that's perhaps like, I don't know, Minecraft or something. Well, actually, that's a bit of a poor comparison, to be honest, but I'm trying to think, like, in my mind, trying to explain that in a way that makes sense, is that you have to, within the laws of the game, have, certain aspects, otherwise you get like unfair play kind of thing. So this is the aspect I think that is really questionable right now, is how we can entail this. Now, there's a really good point here, business of gaming, that actually Fortnite was probably one of the revolutionary games out there, including like Warzone shortly after, where we had this, first of all, the mainstream aspect of gamers really tailing on to this significant game that was created, but more so the amount of money that was made from it. Look at this. Fortnite raked in around $5 billion per year for Epic Games. Now, Epic Games, if I'm not mistaken, were the ones that did like Clash of Clans, maybe way back, maybe eight years or so ago. If correct me if I'm wrong on that. I'm pretty sure they were. But regardless of that, it's the topic of this whole rather than play to earn, you're paying to play to an extent. And I know the game was free, but the enticement and the excitement of being able to buy things to develop your character was something that was probably unavoidable to many people. And I know a lot of parents probably got very upset with all the bills coming through from their Microsoft Gold cards and this, that, and the other. So yeah, microtransactions, very much one of the top aspects, and this toxic loot box economy. Yeah, for sure. It was very interesting arguments back and forth when these games came out. The blending here, we talked about Axie Infinity and CryptoKitties, and recently as well, if you remember a few videos back, well, I say a few months ago, Ubisoft with the Square Enix, we covered that, if you remember, because of the we cover UOS Ultra, Ultra.io, fantastic project building games, hopefully AA and AAA games coming as well very soon. But we talked about Ubisoft. Are they finally getting this model of crypto or indeed NFTs across to traditional platforms? It didn't go well at all. I think it says here somewhere there's 96% dislike or disapproval of people allowing this to happen. They maintained that perhaps games were not meant to be this way, and I kind of half agree with that, to be honest. I do love the technology and the opportunity for NFTs and everything, absolutely 100%, but I do kind of also agree in the traditional gaming side, that there's this argument that games were developed to be played and this, that and the other. But saying that, you've got to move with the times, right? You've got to move with the times, and also this aspect of tokenomics and the economy in general. People using their time up, why should you not be paid for that? Why should you not be rewarded for your inclusion in these kind of games? So there's you could flip a coin really in that kind of argument, but very, very interesting indeed to see the development of this. Now, Elliot Hill here from Verasity was saying that a blockchain-based advertising technology firm, of course, Verasity, told Cointelegraph that while NFTs are clearly innovative and useful, they lack the adequate infrastructure. With these hurdles in the rear-view mirror, it is my view that widespread adoption of NFT technology is now much more likely by major game companies, he said. So very interesting. So I think we're on the brink, guys. And the reason I'm trying to bring this to your attention, I mean, just look back here at some of these crazy numbers. I think NFTs in general, gaming-related NFTs generated revenue worth nearly $5 billion last year, 1/5 of NFT sales in 2021. Now, all the data and the research we've done of how much the gaming market is, of course, is a lot higher than that. But actually, if you were to transition NFTs over and contribute that element of revenue into the gaming stream, wow, you're going to see a whole nother level of gaming insulation. It's going to be incredible. I'm so excited as a gamer for the next few years with the VR development, the AR development, play to earn, NFTs, blockchain especially, the efficiency, the power, the everything related to the whole entire new technological system is really, really exciting. And of course, Veracity is behind the likes of the things of verification of NFTs, so it does indeed have a part to play for sure in the years to come as the development progresses for NFTs in general. But more importantly, the security as well and the verification processes. This buying and selling is really important, but also the background element of royalties, or indeed the proving aspect of whether you indeed actually own this or not, and the item that you have purchased off someone, is it indeed genuine? So they got a big part to play, and of course advertising. We didn't even touch upon the advertising. Advertising aspect is its own kettle of fish. We know that they're doing the Galaxy Cup this year again, covering that on the VRA Esports platform. But my goodness, if they can really hammer both the traditional and the esports and also the actual NFT related games advertising aspects, which of course they've got patents going through left, right and centre around the world right now for that. Wow, what an absolutely phenomenal project this is to be invested in. And we're bagging Veracity as much as we can, as quickly as we can. I for sure see a humongous future with this. Just even from the gaming aspect, let alone the other stuff. So let us know in the comments below what you think about this. What do you think, if you are a gamer out there, what do you think about trying to get NFTs into the traditional gaming sphere? I think it's inevitable. I think eventually you look at the likes of the acquisition perspectives of like Microsoft taking Activision, Bungie, Sony. They're not doing this for a laugh. I know exactly what they're doing. They're doing it for the metaverse, and they're for sure going to be integrating blockchain. There's no doubt about it in my mind. It's the only way metaverse can really, truly work. So I'm super excited, but let us know in the comments below from your side what you think. But for now, let's jump into the chart, see where Veracity has been, where it has been going towards, and what it is doing indeed now. Guys, look at this, 2.2 cents. That's actually quite respectable considering earlier today it was quite under that 1 point. Let's just have a quick look where we are. Low of 0.018, so 1.8 cents, pretty much 1.9 cents to be fair, at the lower regions, and the high regions are 2.2 cents. So it's not gigantic moves, but indeed from that low point to the high point, 21% uptake from that low point to high today alone. We're just approaching nearly 10:30 here in the UK, so it might be slightly different to when you see this video depending on where you are in the world. But I want to point this out. We are finally hitting that second phase of the fib retracement on the macro level, completing this almost upside down V movement that we've seen here in a lot of charts. A bit of stabilization, and now finally trying to take ourselves back up. Now it doesn't look like just yet we're ready to support these particular levels at 2.2 cents concretely. Could be wrong. Hopefully we do in the next hour and a half or so, certainly here in the UK, pull that upwards. Because if we do get a close on there and do stabilize over the next few days, this is going to be really positive for Verasity, in my opinion. We could start really easily triggering these higher regions quite quickly. But what I don't want to see is like last time, this big uptake. Look at this, the switch over here on the MACD on the 30th of January, and absolutely flew. But of course, what happens with that is the overreaction, and then you get the tail off quite quickly as well. Saying that the sell-off isn't massive, it's quite a similar repetitive pattern to what we saw at the end of January before the big uptake of Verasity. What's really important to understand as well is the new higher lows. It doesn't look like it, but it is indeed just about slightly higher than these lower regions, with the exception of the drop here on the failed futures and leverages that we had on the 24th. But it reacted so well, and it pulled itself straight back up to this bottom level of the fib retracement. And like I said, it's been touch and go, but is indeed trying to penetrate this higher region here. Like I said, if we can get support, the next upward position is pretty much around that 2.4 cents. And like I said, I think it's going to be a quick one to obtain if it can do so. And it seems like the timing is almost coming into fruition. The MACD, just about, if you can see it, hasn't quite switched over yet, but is indeed narrowing the gap there. We want to see that blue line cross over or indeed hit that red in the coming days. And that's really going to start taking a nice bull momentum for Verasity, hopefully. Saying that, the world is in a bit of a crazy moment right now, so do just be wary of all the stuff going on, because at any moment some crazy further news might come out and we might see a tank. You just don't know. So do be aware of that. RSI wise, we had the lower regions here a few days ago, but now excitingly around that sort of 46, nearly approaching that 50 mark on the 14-day. The 90 days looking strong as well, with the 28 days catching up progressively also. This, in my opinion, is showing potential opportunity for a stabilization period, a bit of sideways trading at a slightly higher level than we have been the last week. But we'll have to see how that plays out, of course. But as an investor, not financial advice, of course, but me personally buying into, not right now because we're on an uptake and I was buying in those lower regions anyway. But if I do see a bit of stabilization, that's probably going to be a good DCA point perspective, just in case we do tail up even further quicker. But if we do come down, of course, I can DCA my way down also. So good points on there, and we'll cover that with you guys in the next few days, all our positional aspects of what we're doing. I won't be taking any more Verasity profits. I did take some up here, obviously, as we did in the previous videos. So I'm going to be doing that again until we've probably hit those. Maybe actually, to be fair, around 2.5 cents will probably be a first mark for me to take some initial profits from these lower regions. But for sure, I won't be taking substantial ones until we get back up to here, and certainly on obviously beyond that too. But for now, it's very much trying to take these positions as and when they arrive in these short spaces of time. So taking those price out of consideration in the RSIs, let's look at the indicators. We're up 9% on the week, which is really positive to see, especially after today's uptake. That's probably helped it upwards for sure. 1 month, we're looking at pretty much the same, actually, 9%. Either way, it's low, but it is positive, and that 3 month is gradually coming down to a nicer number. It's going to be still some time, in my opinion, maybe a month or 2 months possibly, before we start seeing some green on that 3 month area as well. Other than that, the others are as we expect. 801% still up on the year. That is dragging us into positivity still for Verasity. But for me, like I said, it's a very much a long-term hold for me. I see a huge future for this. I love the fact they've got Elliot on board for the communication and the marketing aspects further to help digest things a bit more, and obviously appease the investors out there at a retail level. And I'm sure as the time goes by, the institutions will really be picking up on this, as they did with the likes of Theta, for example, probably one of the key directed competitors to Verasity. But guys, I want to wrap that up there. Like I said, let us know what you think about Veracity right now in the comments below. What have you been doing, and how excited are you about all this gaming stuff? I think it's quality. Looking forward to seeing the development, and looking forward to the Axie Cup as well. I really want to see how that works for them, and also being able to earn while I watch. Guys, we're going to leave that there. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in the next Veracity video in a few days' time. Bye-bye.